Are you in the meeting, Charlie? Are you in the meeting?
Yeah, good week. Couple of good training sessions. Obviously, travel start of the week. We had last week as well, obviously.
Are you sure?
So
Was. I
you
can
know,
see it, look.
and trained well. So hopefully well prepared. Yeah, look, confidence is very important. Results, obviously very important this time of the year for given the circumstances. But you take confidence, but got to back up performances. And as far as we're considered, yeah, we've reviewed the game and we take a lot of confidence from it. But that's done now. It's a different animal, different day, and it's a big occasion. So yeah, it's. But look, we picked out we need to improve on as well, which is always. But again, you take confidence from that you made a good performance, but there's plenty in the tank. Look, across the board, you're always searching for good as a game as you can get, but we had lots of areas to work on. Our score zone stuff. Close to the line was, we got reefed a couple of times. Leinster's defence very impressive, but you've got to be more clinical in there, especially when you're talking about semis, finals, that kind of thing. Opportunities are few and far between against teams of caliber of the Stormers, so you better take your opportunity when it comes.
Fighting, character, sticking in. Yeah, it's our sixth away game, being widely mentioned. Into some tough places, played well, as Pete says. We're not being perfect, still growing a game, but that's the Munster spirit. Digging in away from home, right to the end of the game. We're fit, battle hardened and fit. We're going to have to be. We're going to have to be at our best. Been saying it all week. We're going to be at our best to beat this team tomorrow.
Look, I suppose broken record stuff. We're constantly, taken aback by the turnout of our supporters. And normally you're talking within Europe, and it's relatively short distance, even though it's still a huge expense. But it's a long way to come, and it's an expensive trip. And walking around the area that we're staying in, it's like walking around Cork or Limerick or Tipperary or someplace. You can't turn a corner without bumping into someone, and it means a huge amount to us, and I'm sure it'll stand to us tomorrow.
Kind of normal, really. Yes, we're spoiled by the support. Wherever we run out, there's sea of red somewhere. You can hear them. Apologies. I have no idea why that's so like. Media conference. I think so. You look at the brand of rugby Stormers have been playing that final last year. It's certainly brought different challenges with travel, but that's the same for those South Africans coming up to Ireland, in the UK. No, I think it's definitely improved the quality. I think tomorrow will show that. It'll be an epic game tomorrow.
Some very painful games.
Look, mention that. It's hugely important for us to take the next step in these games. You know, getting to finals is hugely important. But for us, for the team, it's not about that. It's about the performance tomorrow. You know, you can't go chasing. It's there after the game. You've got to go chase kick off tomorrow, and the performance that we need to put in to beat a team like the Stormers. That's all focused on. You know, of course, both teams in the final, you know, means a huge amount. I mean, I don't have to sit here and explain that. But at the end of the day, it's who plays better tomorrow, and you know, that's what we were focused on all week, and have been so for the last, you know, 48 weeks.
Challenge when everyone's fit and available, Simon. It's not happened a lot this season, to be honest with you. The guys have come in. So those guys who missed the semi and played well. Had some difficult conversations this morning. I left selection as late as possible just to see how we trained, how we travelled. No, a challenge. Both world-class players. Just feel tied. Deserves that start. Exceptional the last game. And RG has proven to bring energy off the bench. Not many people can bring an RG sign off the bench. Bomb squad. Yeah, so that's explains those two selections. Sorry? Calvin's form is undeniable all season. But having said that, Keith played very well in the last game. And to have Keith on the bench, he's able to cover 4 positions. So that's why we've done that. Calvin, I think, merits that start from how he's played throughout the season.
There's something like that you miss some too, that you know did you guys see it as disrespectful and
He's got enough to worry about, worrying about a video of some guys who are cheering, playing at home again. It's not been a huge discussion point in our camp. We move on. We've got enough to deal with getting a game back. Just seen it there now. It's wet. We've dealt with wet surfaces before. We've been to Ireland. Very wet. We used to play on wet pitches. No, it's another challenge, isn't it? That's the game. We've got to deal with various challenges, the opposition, pitch, weather. We'll get on with it. Say that again. It's the next game. It's the next game. Next game. As Pete says, our game's growing. We've had some huge performances, particularly the last 5 weeks, in difficult places, as I alluded to earlier. It would be incredible for the club. This is not an easy trophy to win. But we'll deal with how we can make that happen. Be huge for the club. We'll approach the game, another game, control what we can. Going into the game, keep growing a game, aware of tactically what Stormers will try and do to us and what we've got to do better in our game.
I'm just referring to, you know, not trying to anticipate or plan ahead. You know, when you're playing rugby at this level, you've got to be present and you've got to be in the moment. And you know, it's probably the hardest thing to do in the game when there's so much going on, you know, mistakes, positive moments, lots of things going on around you, lots of different factors, and you know, it's a hard thing to do to be present in that kind of environment, but it's something that we've been working very hard on. And you know, hopefully, as Graham's talking, we're growing our game, we're growing that side of our game as well, and done a lot of work on it over the last probably 2 or 3 years. And you know, it's probably the biggest factor is being in the moment and you know, making your next involvement a positive one.
No questions? How big is part of
Growing what, sorry?
how big is
Between the two nations, I don't know. Between Munster and Stormers, it's obviously a big one. You know, two very proud teams. Huge amount of quality on the pitch tomorrow, and you know, it's about performance tomorrow. It's not really, we're not thinking about, you know, rivalries or history or what's gone up, what's coming, what's gone. It's about tomorrow and performance tomorrow. That's all we're focused on.
I'm going to questions on the Zoom call now, guys. So anyone who's on the Zoom, can just use the raise hand function, and Shelley will call you out and ask questions.
Neil? Over to you.
Hi. Yeah, thanks, Shelley. Hi, Peter. Hi, Graham. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Just one for you, Peter. Obviously, this is the 4th final since Munster have won. The previous 3 were in Ireland. Has it helped at all? I know you mentioned earlier you're turning corners and you're seeing people in red jerseys and red jackets all over the place, but has it helped in a way being out of the home bubble for the last few days to prepare for the game?
Yeah, look, I think there's 2 sides to it. Look, it's certainly easier being over here training wise. You know, having a bit of time to ourselves. You know, I've said it before, but being away from home really galvanizes teams, and certainly the 2 weeks over here we spent recently did a huge amount of building with regard to, you know, relationships and confidence and confidence with regard to the group. But you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I wouldn't love to be running out in Thomond Park like these guys are running out at home tomorrow. But you know, this is the way it falls, and that's the way the lie of the land is for us tomorrow. And look, we've been here since Monday. We've had a great week in training and downtime at the same time, switching on, switching off, and you know, we're certainly well prepared.
Great. That's all for me. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Graham. Best luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Jerry Thornley, over to you.
Thank you very much. Hi, Peter. Hi, Graham. Peter, we were just listening to Stephen Kitchoff there. He's been playing for the Stormers since 2011, and he described tomorrow's game as the biggest game of his career with the Stormers. I know it's different in Munster with the Heineken Cup being the Holy Grail and all of that, and you've been to 3 other finals, but how would you categorize this game in your career with Munster?
It's a huge game for the club. It's a huge game for me. You know, finals are one game. You know, it takes a huge amount of work. To get here. You know, we've had a long season. You know, gone through different patches. You know, different difficult periods. You know, we've had a couple of great weeks over the last few weeks, and we've navigated our way through, you know, under difficult circumstances. And you know, I'm not going to sit here and say it's not a massive occasion in my career for Munster. You know, arguably the biggest. I wouldn't disagree with Stephen, it's hard to deny when you get to finals. You know, this is what you've worked for not just this season, for a long part of his career, my career. So that there are always big occasions every year. There's whatever team is in a final, it has to be one of your biggest. So I would certainly second what he was suggesting.
Okay, thank you. One for Graham as well, please. Graham, was there any ever stage, like when you first went over the Stormers and Munster were just fighting to get into the top 8 and maybe make Heineken Cup next season to secure that? It's unusual to come in qualifying 5th and plot an away route all the way to an away final. Was there any stage at all where you felt like you're almost in bonus territory now that you've got to the final and practice back on? And what's the mindset around that?
Define bonus.
In the sense that you'd achieved your primary goals of making the playoffs and qualifying for Champions Cup. You were away from home and therefore you were underdogs from that point on.
Win the next game. Bonus territory. We've gone to Glasgow and won, beat Leinster. We deserve to be here. We want to win this game. We happen to find ourselves in a final.
And is it a bigger sense of occasion? Are you almost happy that it's a 55,000 sellout? You know what I mean? That it's daunting in one respect, but you've got 5,000 of your own fans against 50,000 home fans. It adds to the sense of occasion, doesn't it?
We don't do things easily, Jerry. We had some good adversarial growth, I think they call it. Games developed. We deserve to be here, regardless of what's happened in the domestic rounds through the playoffs. And we're preparing for a final tomorrow. We're going to do our best to win, make sure our game's at its best in order to give us that best opportunity.
Thank you very much. Best of luck, both of you.
Okay, we'll go to Joe Caulfield next and then Mike Porkiter.
Hi lads, how are things?
Oh, thanks.
Peter, just start off with you. Just the manner in which you beat Leinster to go behind and then to come back and win it with a drop goal. Can you just give me an indication of what you feel that says about the mental resilience of this team and maybe the character in the dressing room?
Yeah, it's come a long way. You know, it's a difficult thing to do, to go and beat Leinster with the quality they have in the Aviva Stadium. You know, not many teams have succeeded there. And as you said, to go behind with not very long left. You know, the manner and the way you navigate your way back up the pitch and get the score, you know, it gives a huge amount of confidence to everyone. It's at the same time, you know, I think Graham has quoted on me on this. You know, that can't be our final. It can't be. Tomorrow has to be, and we've got to play the occasion tomorrow like we did against Leinster and Glasgow, and before that, we've got to go and play our game. You know, we can't be happy with that performance. You know, we've got to grow our game, and you know, we think we've done that in training over the last couple of weeks, and you know, hopefully it'll be on show tomorrow.
And just for yourself, Graham, just Jack Crowley's performance last week, where Van Healy goes off, he needs to move into out half, and you needed him to step up, and he delivered an incredible performance. How impressed were you by that?
It's very mature, good composure in the heat of the battle. Not many bigger, tougher jobs than that, what he did there. Just our play to get us there, the bravery we show from our own goal line. It's where we want this team to be. But no, I'm delighted with Jack. Gives us a lot of flexibility with him being able to play 3 positions.
Thanks, lads. Good luck tomorrow.
Mike, you had your hand up. Did you still want to ask a question?
No, it's fine. Thank you very much. My question has been answered. It's okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't see any hands up. Anybody else want to ask any questions? Put your hand up now, please. Then I think that's a wrap, gentlemen.
Outside.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, lads.